Wave.
I just keep writing down questions because, I'm like fascinated by everything you're saying, but now I don't want to ask one of these questions.
Is that Harvard coming out on you that you just
no,
write
it's just
things
like I want to
down?
jump
What a
in.
nerd.
I don't want to interrupt you.
I'm just jotting down notes here. Oh, man, look at me.
Yeah.
I went to Harvard.
Welcome to Fitz and Whit. I'm Fitz, that's Whit, and this is a Wave original brought to you by Intuit TurboTax. Now, this is taxes. Subscribe on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Do not forget to give us 5 stars and follow the show on social media at Fitz and Whit. That's Fitz, A-N-D, Whit. New episodes coming to you every week. Whit, let everyone know who our very special guest is today.
This segment is brought to you by Intuit TurboTax. Our guest today is a wrestling icon, 8-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time United States Champion, a 2-time WWE Champion, and a big fan of the Cleveland Browns, who aren't even close to being champions. But give a big Fitz and Whit welcome to The Miz, baby.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I got to say, I've brought the championships to Cleveland. The Browns have not. And I think they're very far from doing so. And I hate to say that. Usually every year as a Browns fan, I go, we're going to the Super Bowl. Even when we lost every single game and did not win, I was like, that year, I said, we're going to the Super Bowl. This is like the past 2 years, I've been like, maybe we're not going to the Super Bowl. Maybe we're just building. Maybe we're just building and building and building and just can't stop building. But it's been a tough ride, let me tell you.
So we had a Thursday night football game there. Was it 2 years ago? The last time they made the playoffs, Flacco was playing quarterback. The feeling in that stadium,
was insane.
The fans, all the players did a lap afterwards, just the appreciation. And even like when we've showed up and they haven't been good, that fan base, you guys are unbelievable,
it's unreal.
Man. It's a top 3 fan base in the NFL.
So I remember seeing Whit. You were in a game against Manziel. Manziel's first game back, right? I remember being on the field because I was like, Manziel's playing. I gotta get to Cleveland Brown Stadium, right? And I remember seeing you, and going, oh my God, Johnny Manziel is a child amongst men. Like the size of you, Whit, and your entire offensive line. I was like, what are we doing? Because I was like, when we drafted Johnny Manziel, I was like, we're done. That's our franchise quarterback. Let's go. No one's going to be able to take us down. I mean, we got Johnny football, baby. And so then when he was going to play, I was like, I'm going to Cleveland. When I went there, I saw Johnny, and then I saw you, and I went, this isn't going to be good. But man, I was like, oh my God, if he's going up against this size of a player, this is going to be a problem. And that's the first time I actually realized, oh, this is why quarterbacks need to be like 6'5". No offense, Fitz, but they need to be like 6'5", like 250, and they need to be like Mendoza,
the 250
right?
part. Fitz has the 250 part. Yeah. He's just only 6'2".
No, the part that Johnny missed out on was you have to study your playbook.
Yeah, it's kind of helpful.
Sleep at night. You have to be fully focused on being a professional. That was the part that he missed out on, I think.
I think he was a kid. It's so hard to go from college to football, man, to being what he was, right? He was the symbol of college football. He was the most popular. And then guess what? Hey, you're going to go first round and you're going to be the franchise quarterback. Like he just thought he could do whatever he wanted because that's what he did his entire life. And then all of a sudden a reality check happens and you're like, wait a second, I have to try something completely different. Yeah. And people fault him on that. Even I faulted him on that. But I've been able to interview him and talk to him. And it seems like he's a changed man. And it's like, he seems like if he would have known what he knows now, he might have changed up everything. But it's hard to know that kind of stuff going in. Do you feel this new crop of draftees will understand kind of like a Mendoza? I think he's a different character, a different cat, but these guys going in, how are they able to prepare? Like, do they call you guys and say, hey, how do I do this? Because you think they would, right?
You would think.
I mean, you guys have been there.
You would think.
You would think. You know, it's funny. It's a great question, Miz. Like, I think one of the challenges right now, obviously with NIL stuff, it's a totally different world, even than Manziel was in. It's really some of those things you get away with. I remember Nick Saban used to always say that one of the challenges in college football, right? Like college football, it's about, trying to get all these guys to buy into culture and to process and all these things and this place they're playing, having a lot of pride in it. But with that too, like a small town like Johnny was in Texas A&M, like you're a god there. And everyone's like, you could do whatever you want, long as you're winning and playing Johnny Manziel football. Like, we don't give a crap what you do. We'll make sure you're successful. And then you go to the NFL and it's like, no. You have to fall in line. Everybody's really freaking good. Everybody was a god where they came from. And that's the biggest challenge is who's really built to like make something bigger than just them. And hey, man, this NFL football is about our ability to lean on each other. We're all really good. We're all really successful, but how good we will be as a team will be our really ability to put all our individual things away and say, how do I accomplish this goal with this group? Because at the NFL level, there's so many factors to whether you can win and lose. It's no longer just who has the most talent on their football team.
And Mike, I think to your question, like I always get upset with kids sports and the professionalization of kids sports at such a young age, and you're specializing and you're doing all these things. But I do think a positive effect that it has had is these kids are more ready than ever before to make the leap from high school to college, from college to the NFL, or from college to the NBA, because they've been training and have seen what they need to do. So it's not just the pure talent anymore. All these guys that are super talented have the habits from a very young age. And I think that's been really cool. One of the good things that has come out of like, the hyper like centralized training and all these things from when you're 8-year-old on, but they're coming into college in the NFL more ready than they've ever been. Something that, Johnny unfortunately was not, but Johnny was so talented, and the team around him, Mike Evans, remember, was the receiver he was thrown to at A&M. They were so much better than everybody, and you can get around with running around and scrambling. He was must-see TV, so much fun to watch. So him entering into a locker room, it just didn't work because he wasn't serious about it. And I've thought about you and your like origin story of the WWE and being this guy that was a reality TV star, and then like the hot shot.
I'm sure the guys were real excited, right?
Yeah, real excited to welcome me in the locker room.
Oh, man. Love the kisses and hugs and
tons of street cred. Yeah.
You got to remember, I mean, back in the day, MTV was the show, right? Like it was MTV was the network. That's what everyone was watching. And then you would go onto the Real World, which was the biggest show out there. Like everyone was talking about the Real World, wanting to be on the Real World. I remember when I tried out, 60,000 people tried out for the Real World to try to get on it, and only 7 make it. And I was lucky enough to be one of them. I was going to Miami of Ohio. Like I was in a business classes, right? And I was sitting in my fraternity, Theta Chi, and I would never forget watching Real World New Orleans, and they were like, do you want to try out for the Real World? I was like, yes, I do. And well, here's how you do it. And I literally was like, okay, so I put together like a videotape. Like I used my VHS tape player because that's what we had back then. We didn't have iPhones. There wasn't even camera phones. I used to have a VHS camcorder that I would take around with me and film everything that I did. So I would press stop and record, stop and record, stop and record. Like it was like one of those things, how I did my casting tape. And so sent it in, made it on the show. Once I got on the show, it made me realize, man, I could do anything I want with this life. I don't just have to go from high school to college back to Cleveland and live my life and get a job. I can kind of do what my dreams want me to do. And I was like, I'll be a WWE superstar. And everyone laughed at me. I was like, cause I'm not Whit's size, right? I'm just not born that way. I was 6'0". I couldn't put on any weight in my 20s because I just couldn't, no matter how much I ate. My metabolism was too fast, I guess. But I got onto another show called, after the Real World, you get to do like the challenges, which is really popular now. It's even more popular than it was back when I was doing it. But back when I was doing it, it was like Real World versus Road Rules. And you prayed, you hoped you could get on the show because you could win money. Like on the Real World, I didn't make any money. I made nothing. Like I made, I think $5,000 for spending 5 months in a house in New York. I went broke. Like, I used all my credit cards. Like, I spent everything, everything. Like, so I was like in the can, but I was like, I think this is a better measure to do. Like, granted, even though I was, didn't have any money and I was in the red, I still thought I could use this to propel myself and get somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I did. And so once I got on to the challenge, I won the challenge and we won $50,000. And I used that money to move to Los Angeles, get a professional wrestling school called UPW. I went to improv classes at Groundlings and Improv Olympics. I hired an acting coach that I would go to because I thought I was trying to find all the tools that I needed to become a WWE superstar. And I was like, these are all the things I think. I don't know because I didn't know any wrestlers at the time that could actually tell me how to do this. And so then I started learning the art, and WWE did not come calling. Everyone's like, oh, did WWE must have saw you on The Real World? And they were like, oh my God. I was like, no, they didn't. If anything, they hated it. They didn't want that at all. And so, but I just kept going for it. And finally, I got on a show called Tough Enough where you could win a reality show, believe it or not, that you could win a WWE contract. I didn't win. I got second place, but I had a developmental contract. And so the higher-ups, the old guys, I guess you could say, the veterans of WWE heard about this, didn't like it because they thought, this guy just wants his 15 minutes of fame. He doesn't love our business. And to do what we do at a top level, you must love what we do, because what we do is, football is very difficult. It's very difficult to do. It's hard, right? And so to do WWE, people are like, oh, but it's this, but it's that. No, we've had so many people come into our business and quit because they can't run the ropes, because they can't take bumps, because they can't do the travel. They can't do the schedule that we do. Like, we perform each and every week. We have no off season whatsoever. You have to find time to make sure that you not only are you in shape, but you also have to have an ability to evolve and have a character and be able to display that each and every week in front of a live audience that is going to either boo or cheer you. And guess what? Hecklers, they're all over the place, nonstop, all day, every day, trying to miss you off your mark. So long story short, I know I've been talking a lot, but man, when I first came into WWE, was I like a Johnny Manziel? Maybe a little bit, right? Like, I will say that I am a loud person. I'm a loud person. I rub people the wrong way when they first meet me. It's just something that I don't know why. I really don't. Maybe it's just I'm too much. And when my nerves hit me, I'm just like, blah, 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 and it rubs people the wrong way. And I guess I must have rubbed people the wrong way. And people wanted me to earn what I needed. Yeah. And I'm thankful for everything I've went through. I've got kicked out of the locker room. I've been yelled at, scolded, if you will. I've been beat up, if you will. But the thing is, it taught me what it took to be a top-level main event superstar. And they needed to know, if they're going to teach me how to be this top level, that I'm there to stay. Because if a person gets to the top level and just leaves, we just built this guy for the past, 2, 3, 4 years. It's like a quarterback coming into your team, and then you build this quarterback. They're crap in the beginning. They're not good, but you're like, I see something in this guy. There's something about him that is really good, like offensive tackle, right? I imagine you've trained these offensive tackles, and you're like, I'm training this guy. This guy's going to be good. And then in 3 years, he leaves your team. And you're like, I just did this for our team to do this, and now you just leave. WWE, we only have our team, right? We're not going to go somewhere else. You have to stay there and try to build these people, because we need top level superstars like the Cody Rhodes right now, like the Roman Reigns, like the CM Punks. Like, we need these guys to take us to WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, to sell out Allegiant Stadium both nights. Like, we're doing 2 stadium shows back to back. We need this, right? So this is why we build these up and coming superstars, and why I needed to lock in and figure out how to become a top level superstar and not be a goofball.
Yeah.
So
I think the coolest thing you said there, Miz, though, is like you kind of made this point about Johnny, but then what you just said there is like, all right, you come into this locker room. And I just think when you said that, I know Fitz, we've been there, is you're like, all right, I was this guy coming from this world of reality TV. I walk into this locker room and these guys think the upper guys, the older guys, the old heads in the room are like, hey man, this guy's just here for the fame of it. And I think to your point, like when you made that comment about Johnny, that's what I kind of mean is that what happens is these young guys come in and it's like the first thing you got to do if you're a young guy, not a lot of guys come and ask you, but when they do, this is the first thing I tell them, you got to make it look like, man, all the stuff that you were, like all this godlike mentality of how special you were, you got to make the guys feel like that's not the important part to you. The important part to you is I'm going to figure out how to make it. Like whatever it takes, whatever I need to do, like I'm going to do those things to be successful. And I think like the first thing you feel is some moment you've had. Like I think Fitz has probably had this with a veteran. I know I had it, but it's like that guy in the room that finally accepts you. And they're like, oh man, this dude's made of the right stuff. And so it made me think about that. Like, what was that moment for you? Was there a guy in the profession that finally, like all these people are telling you you're not enough, you're not going to belong, you want all this fame. Was there a guy that like acknowledged, hey man, like, you're about the right stuff and you got a real chance to be successful in this for you in your career?
John Cena, my career's been a little interesting, right? So when I first came to WWE, like when I was brought up, I got taken into Vince McMahon's office and he's like, all right, you're going to be our host. And I went, what? Like when you're wanting to be a WWE superstar, like you don't want the boss to tell you, we're gonna make you the host. Like, no, I want to be the Rock. Like, I want to put butts in seats. I want to get
That's
on
like
the microphone
and then
wrestle
and they hand you a clipboard. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, hey, you're gonna jot the plays down. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but
it.
he's like, we want you to be the Ryan Seacrest of WWE, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even know this guy knew who Ryan Seacrest was. But
better than being the Brian
not to fault
Dunkelman.
Ryan Seacrest, one of the best hosts you've ever seen in your entire life. Great, but when you're coming into WWE, that's probably not what you want to hear. Right. But I thought, you know what? If they give me a microphone, I can make them, the audience, whatever the audience is going to do, I can either make them hate me or love me. And if they give me that opportunity, they're going to want to see me wrestle in the ring. And that's kind of what happened. So on SmackDown, I was the host, and then they wanted me to do the ring. And then when I got in the ring, I kind of did well. But then they moved me to another show called ECW and put me in a tag team. And with this tag team, I kind of developed and honed my skills and started developing what I needed to be as a WWE superstar. And then when I split from this tag team, I went to Raw, not sure what was going to happen as a single star because it's different when you're a tag team because you can rely on another guy. But when you're by yourself, you only rely on yourself. And they're like, you're going after our poster child, John Cena. And let me tell you, I thought I was ready at the time. I was like, I'm ready for this. Of course, no problem. Are you kidding me? John Cena, let's go. I wasn't. But I cut these promos on John because he wasn't going to be there for like 8 weeks. So I just started saying like 1-0. I challenged John Cena. He's not coming out. 2-0. 3. I went up to like 8-0. And I was saying things that nobody else was kind of saying. Like I was saying stuff that you were like, whoa, no one said anything like that about John Cena, but he wasn't there. So I was like, you know what? I can say whatever I want.
You can't touch me.
John Cena comes back and I'm thinking we're going to have this 5-star match. We're just going to go at it, right? And John Cena mops the floor with me. Like literally it's a 5-minute match. It was at Bash. I'll never forget because I remember my heart sinking when I went to the back. Like he wiped his shoes afterwards on me, like the dust coming up and just spitting in my face. And I was like, man, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. I thought I just built this story. We just built this story so high. I was ready to go thinking I can have a main event level caliber match. And this was a teaching moment for me. I walked backstage and I remember the producer going, you haven't been through the wars to get through a John Cena. You can't literally think that you're just John Cena is just going to have this 25-minute match with an unknown, like not an unknown, but like a guy that's just kind of gotten there, hasn't went through the wars that it takes to get to a John Cena. So that year I set off and I went through the wars. I went through the battles. I developed stories showing that I could do what was needed to be done. And a year later, I'm in the main event of WrestleMania with John Cena as the WWE champion. So it's one of those things like, and by the way, the reason I got to go there was during that year, I got to go on live events, which are non-televised shows that we have each and every weekend, or did have each and every weekend, where I could develop my talent, hone in my craft. And I was going up against John Cena. When I'm in the ring with a John Cena or a Randy Orton, that is a different level. And now kids get to get in the ring with me, which, pat myself on the back a little bit. I can teach the things that I was taught by the legends like Shawn. I've been in the ring with everybody. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, you name it. I've been in the ring with them. So I've learned all these different techniques and different things that can teach to these young guys that might not know, but think they know everything, but they really don't. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, I just keep writing down questions because, I'm like fascinated by everything you're saying, but now I don't want to ask one of these questions.
Is that Harvard coming out on you that you just
no, it's just down? Like I want to jump in.
Nerd.
I don't want to interrupt you.
I'm just jotting down notes here. Oh man, look at me. I went to Harvard.
Big Post-it guy. He's got Post-its everywhere.
I got a lot of Post-its. But then I have another question from that. So I'm just thinking of the scene with Ben Stiller when he's playing pickup basketball and like the really sweaty guy. Who's like the nastiest dude, like smelliest, grossest guy that you've had to get after and wrestle? Hairiest? Ugh.
I think most people would probably say Otis, right?
Oh, yeah.
But he's not smelly or anything like that. But it's when you say that scene with Ben Stiller, there's literally like moments where you just get that sweat just all over your face and all over everything. Like he has this worm that he does. He does a worm. The guy's like 350 pounds and can do a worm, and then he does an elbow drop, and when his elbow drop down, it's all armpit.
Oh yeah,
right.
It's
just right in there.
Get in there,
and
baby.
You're just like, hey now. That's why it's his finisher.
Okay, hold on. I got more questions. Okay, so I feel like the Real World when it came out was actual like reality TV. As to now, it feels like so scripted. Like, was it scripted back then? Was it
no?
It
was as real can get on TV. So we had. I remember. I'll never forget. Like doing the casting special, and everyone kind of plays up to the cameras, right? Yeah. No matter how you can do it, right?
In the NFL,
yeah, exactly. So you play up to the cameras, but once you're on the Real World, that goes away after the first week because there's cameras 24/7 with you. It just becomes the norm. So it's as real can get on television, I think, ever. And now I think reality shows have just become Instagram and TikTok and social media. You know what I mean? That's reality, right?
Yep.
That's what it is. And so reality shows like my reality show, Ms. and Mrs., which you can still see on Peacock, 3 seasons. I know, but I mean, I'll tell you what, that was one of the most fun that my wife and I have ever had. We'd have like, our show was real in a sense of that we would do things and we'd be like, ooh, we got to put this in the show. Ooh, we got to put this in the show. Ooh, we got to put this in the show because it really happened in life. But then we would highlight it because we wanted to make a comedy. We wanted to start a new genre of reality television where it wasn't just all drama. It was comedy and it made you laugh. Like I wanted a Seinfeld in a reality show and I felt like we succeeded at that. And my wife was a huge component on it because one, she was the person that kind of motivated me to do it because once you're on a reality show, when you go on a reality show back in when I was on a reality show, it wasn't like everyone like wanted you to come in. Like Hollywood is like, oh my God. Like now if you're on a reality show, Hollywood's like, hey, they got a fan base. Let's put them in a movie. Let's put them in this. Let's put them in. It wasn't like that. It was like anything. It was like you were like the redheaded stepchild of like reality television. You were not allowed to be in anything, and especially with WWE as well. So getting on the Real World, I was like, oh my God, I thought this was my make or break moment. And it was literally one of those things. I got to Hollywood and they were like, they did not want me at all. And I had to work towards it to kind of develop and hone my craft. And now I feel like it's more allowed, right? It's more like it's more okay because everything's reality and you just want more, whoever's going to get you the most hits or the most likes or the most, views as a movie or a TV. You're going to put that person on there because they're going to figure out how to do media. I watched Logan Paul work and I'm like, oh my God, not only is he talented inside a WWE ring, but he knows how to make noise.
Yep.
He knows how to make people go, oh, what's he doing? I got to see this. For the fact that he's able to go onto a flag football game and literally go up to Tom Brady and mouth off to him, and everyone's like, oh my God, he's going to beat up Tom Brady or they're going to get into a fight. It's like, man, there's no one better at that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Knows how to work the people, baby. Knows how to work the people. There's
even when the people are being worked, they still don't care.
They might hate you, they might love you, like whatever it may be, they're still paying attention, right? What about
because just time, how much time, I know you have 2 daughters and like all the work that you do and all the offers and things that come in, like how are you picking and choosing what the hell you're doing? The reality show, American Gladiators. We've obviously got all this stuff with WrestleMania coming up. Like, how are you picking and choosing and managing what the hell you do with your time?
Dude, I'm going, it's not necessarily nuts right now, but it's a busy time. And I always let my daughters, like I took my daughters to school today and I was like, I got media this morning. I had media before this, and I was like, do I have time? I was like, I'm going to make time. I'm going to make sure that I can take them, walk them to their classes, go in. I'll pick them up after school. And then I also take them to like jujitsu and gymnastics. But I make sure that I do the dad part, right? I make sure that, I take him to the parks. I play with him in the parks. Like just in this room right here, my daughters are like, hey, can you kind of coach us in jujitsu today? And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, they haven't learned a lot. So the stuff that they know, like have learned, I can actually show them how to do it and they're like learning takedowns and stuff like that. And all they're doing is like just running like this. And I'm like, no, use their momentum against them and do this. And it's really fun.
April 15, tax deadline is coming fast, but don't worry. You can hand off your taxes to a TurboTax expert today. Look, we've all been there. Doing taxes the old way is a headache. You're chasing updates, working around someone else's schedule, and the whole time you're thinking, did they get everything right?
With Intuit TurboTax, you can hand off your taxes to a dedicated full-service expert. They understand your specific tax situation and can do your taxes entirely from start to finish, online or in person at one of their new tech-enabled store locations.
Have your tax forms directly imported right into the app and hand everything off to your TurboTax expert while they work on your taxes for you and work tirelessly to get you every dollar you deserve. You can go about your normal routine, giving you your time back to hit the gym, take the kids to practice, or cook that recipe you've been meaning to try.
And you know what? I've been back in the gym, so I can appreciate having that time back to myself. Don't wait. Visit TurboTax.com and hand off your taxes to a TurboTax expert today.
Fitz, you know what I've been hearing a ton about lately?
What? Is there a trade rumor going on that I haven't heard about yet?
No, not exactly. Ro's new GLP-1 pill, and it's not just about losing weight either, Fitz. People have reported having more energy, better lab results, and just feeling better overall.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad, Whit. And a pill? Can't get easier than that.
Exactly. Ro offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. It has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot and delivers comparable results.
So you're getting the same kind of benefits, just in a pill, you're saying?
That's right. No shot, just one daily pill that helps reduce cravings and keeps you feeling fuller.
Okay, that sounds legit.
Well, Fitz, and Ro makes the whole process simple. It's 100% online care with access to FDA-approved medications, a free insurance check, unlimited provider messaging, side effect management, dosing support, pretty much everything you need.
Yeah. So no running around and no guesswork.
None of that. After your first online visit, if you're eligible, you can start your medication in less than a week if you're paying cash, or about 2 weeks with insurance.
And a quick turnaround. What's better than that, Whit?
The new GLP-1 pill starts at $149 for the first dose, and the Ro Body membership gives you access to everything for just $45 for your first month. Go to ro.co/wit to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill. That's ro.co/wit to get started on Ro.
Go to ro.co/safety. That's ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications.
But with WWE, I mean, you remember we're every week. So every Thursday I'm flying out for Friday, and then Saturday usually I'm back. Now this is usually at WrestleMania time. You know, we have tons of media that we're doing all over the place. And not only that, I have American Gladiators, which I hosted, coming out, and it comes out April 17th. guess when WrestleMania is? April 18th and 19th.
Man.
So I have a media blitz happening right now. So American Gladiators debuts on Amazon Prime April 17th. And then also on April 17th is USA Network has SmackDown, which is the show that I'm on. So you can watch me on American Gladiators, then watch USA. Then the next day, go to ESPN app and watch Allegiant Stadium, WrestleMania 42, both nights, Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday, we also have Monday Night Raw. In all this is in Vegas. By the way, mind you, we have WWE World at the Las Vegas Convention Center where we do autograph signing, pictures. We have Tony Hinchcliffe doing Kill Tony for WrestleMania. We also have the Hall of Fame where we're inducting the people that have paved the way for all the superstars to be where they're at today. So these are all the things that are going on in Las Vegas that I am literally a part of and have to do. Mind you, I also have to be the best dad and husband I could possibly be. So I think it's even in football, when you guys are in spring training, you guys have to form a team and a bond, right, with your teammates. So family is like, man, I really want to make sure that I talk to my wife and kids, but I also got to form this relationship because I know what it takes to get to the Super Bowl, right? So you got to manage your time. You got to be the best time manager you possibly can be. And I think you guys have done it to the best of your abilities as well. Am I wrong?
Well, I think now we're just in a different, we're trying to figure it out. Football, that was almost easy because it was so scheduled. And you're so regimented. And now we have our football season where, much like you, a little less physical, like we're leaving on Wednesdays, doing Thursday night football and flying home on Friday. So that part of it is nice.
Most of the time.
Sometimes we go in Tuesday. We tell the wives, we've got some really important interviews we got to do and hang out in whatever city we're in. But
or we get on a bus, go across the country for no apparent reason.
That too.
Anyways, go ahead.
But we get pulled in different directions trying to figure it out. Nothing to the extent of how crazy your life is, but I think something that was really important that Whit and I both understand as well. I have 4 daughters. He has 2. I have 3 boys. He has 2. Is that making time for your kids? Just the other day, like my 9-year-old daughter, Ruby, she wanted more than anything. She's got a soccer team, and her soccer team wanted to play flag football, and they wanted dad to coach. Okay, I'm going to coach. And I have some conflicts, so I can't make every game, but the last 2 days, what have we done? I'm not a huge fan of flag football, but my daughter wanted to play catch with me.
There you go.
Sitting in the house or going out front and throwing the ball back and forth with my 9-year-old daughter for 20 minutes, like that was the favorite part of my day the last few days. And it's like Whit and I, like the daddy-daughter dances and those type of things, they're so important. And I think it's cool that you realize it's not just important for you to share that with your daughter, but the way that she looks at you and that relationship you're building with her, like it just means so much to these kids. So that was really cool to hear about. But I wrote something else down.
Oh boy, here we go. Another Post-it. Here's a Post-it. What a nerd.
Another Post-it. Whit and I have some beef with you.
Oh, okay.
And look, maybe,
I'm not sure what the beef is, but okay.
this was year 1, and you're the host of American Gladiators, and you didn't have much say. Could you imagine Whit with a jousting stick?
On, man. Were you kidding me?
He would be effing people up. Like, how have we not done this Prime Video crossover where Andrew Whitworth is one of the gladiators? It makes no sense.
Well, now that you brought that up, guess what's going to happen, buddy?
Let's do it.
You better prepare yourself. I actually have a marketing meeting, right, for with Prime Video on ideas that I want to do, and that is one of them. Like, I watched what Mr. Beast does and how he creates people. Like, he had a whole celebrities kind of do the things, and I'm like, I'm looking at that going, we need to do something like that, because when we were kids, there was nothing bigger than American Gladiators, man. Like, I remember, like, I loved American Gladiators, and the Gladiators were like the baby faces, even though they were going up against contenders. But now you bring it to the new, and you bring these new events that we have, but we also have the nostalgia of the old, but we just brought it and updated it and have these new events that are incredible. We have this one called The Edge, where they're 40 feet in the air, and you're basically going up against these gladiators, and you have to cross them 40 feet in the air, and there's holds. And so you're trying to, it's like you're trying to zigzag, and now you run. The gladiators literally sprint at you and try to tackle you off a 40-foot fall. And like the way it's,
that is sick.
It's like, it's sick. It's crazy. And so I don't know if we're going to do that one, but I definitely want to try to make sure like we can do like a joust somewhere.
Yeah.
Like if we have just, I was like asking my showrunner today, I called him. I was like, is there any way to make a makeshift joust where I can like take it to like WWE or even like to an Amazon Prime or wherever anyone is where I will take on, or I'll bring a gladiator. I know
American
our gladiators
Century.
would take to
Me and
American
you, baby.
Century and
We're
let's
gonna do it on the
go.
opening tee box. Let's go.
I mean,
Let's
I don't
joust it
think
out,
anyone
baby.
would mind, right?
Oh,
All right. So post game next year, Thursday Night Football, whatever. If we're in LA or Cleveland or wherever, we'll have you come out of your busy schedule. You could bring your daughters. We'll hang out and you can joust Whit.
Post game.
I'm in.
We'll joust in
I'm
post
in.
game. That'll be sick.
He's a little bigger than me, but I feel like that's the idea
but if you
of
get me up on a
gladiators. 'Cause our
platform-
gladiators are way bigger than our contenders. But man, I'll tell you what, our contenders got some grit.
I like that. When you look at this, all right, talk to me about this gladiator roster. Like you've been around some insane athletes. All right, so where do you put like this gladiator roster as far as like how they stack up of some of the athletes you've been around your career? What do you think?
I mean, look, so WWE has amazing athletes. The real world, the challenges, believe it or not, you have to be not only do you have to be good at gameplay in a reality show, but you also have to be able to physically fit to do the obstacles that you do. And then now you have American Gladiators, which is a completely different art, completely different athleticism. There are some guys, like there's this guy Steele, right? And he is the human highlight reel. Like the things that he is able to do on Hang Tough. I mean, I don't know if you remember the rings where they just they kind of just sway back and forth. Baby. In my opinion, when I watched it back in the day, it was a little boring, right? When Steele gets on Hang Tough or Eagle gets on Hang Tough, it's not boring. You are. It was one of my favorite to watch, and I remember as a kid watching it. It was not my favorite. Like I did not like it at all. But Hang Tough was one of my favorites watching live because you would watch these guys swing and get closer to the contenders, and you're like, oh God, what's going to happen? There was one moment where Steele flew off, like kind of propelled himself off the rings, which I didn't even know you could do, and latched himself onto the guy and just pulled him down. And it was awesome. It was so cool to watch. Man, I can't wait for people to see it. When I was there,
have you tried them? Have you tried any of the events? Like I'm just wondering.
I wanted to, but
just tell me, do they still have the eliminate, or is it the eliminator where they run
the eliminator?
Up the
and they have the travelator.
Do they have this deal?
Yes. They don't have this one. It's not this one, but there's a travelator that is a backward spinning treadmill that you have to run up. And it gets everyone because it's at the end now. And it gets everyone.
No.
Like it's super, super hard because you're out of breath as it is. And then you got to go up this travelator that is just unrelentingly tough.
Dude, I can't wait.
But man, I'm telling you, when I got this job, I remember going in for like the audition, right? Or the meeting as we call it. I walked into the meeting and I was like, I remember my agent calling me and going, hey, you got a huge kind of audition or interview. And I go, what is it? And they're like, American Gladiators. I go, I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
I have to get this.
No, this isn't a question.
I remember as a child going to Gund Arena, which it was called at the time, and going to the arena and watching it live because I was such a big fan. And so when I walked in, I was like, I'm getting this. And I even told them, I was like, even if I don't get this, make sure it's the right person because this has to be done right. It has to be. And so when I got there and I got the job and I got it, I looked at Roxy Diaz who's a sideline reporter, and I looked at Chris Rose, who's the commentator. And you guys know Chris Rose from NFL Network. The guy is the consummate pro, is not only funny, but brings a level of professionalism that American Gladiators needs, as well as Roxy was able to just get these heart-wrenching, touching interviews that I was like, man, and I just brought energy, right? And then also we had these gladiators that, they walk in there and it's like, it's their house, but they all had different unique characters and they're all sized differently. They all have different specialties and expertise that they go about. And man, putting this team together and locking in, it felt like, a WWE locker room. I imagine if you guys were the host and you walked into there, it's like a wrestling, a football locker room. But man, we all connected. We all wanted to make sure that this is the show that not only gave the past a nod, but also brought it to the future. And I think we succeeded at that. And I can't wait for everyone to see it April 17th.
Fitz,
Amazon Prime, baby.
Amazon Prime, baby.
They do it right, man. They are doing... I mean, from what you guys have done with NFL on Thursday nights, watching you guys and how much fun you have and the team that you guys literally do, watching Fitz get everyone to take their shirts off every single week is absolutely amazing. And believe it or not, it's the best part. It's like, is this guy going to be able to take off his shirt? Is he going to? And what does it look like? We don't know. You know?
Yeah.
And so, and then
Miz, now we've gotten into like, he says he's not doing it. And then like,
in the post I don't want to do it. No, not me.
You got to play the game. You got to make him earn it.
Now he likes to tease it. Now it's a full tease at this point. But what do we think Fitz, like what position group would do well in American Gladiators? That's in the NFL.
So right away I thought, okay, Myles Garrett, right? I don't know about like the hanging things, but some of the things where his feet are on the ground, right? But I think because there is so much upper body strength and, speed's going to be a factor and stuff too, I go straight to like the corners, the DBs. Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking DBs, wide receivers, but also like you do need
running backs.
I feel like they're a little thin.
They're a little thin.
I was going to say running backs are grounded a little more like gymnastics-ish, in the sense that they
I guess it's the type of running back, right?
Yeah.
It had to be the type of running back.
I feel like a McCaffrey would dominate.
Yes. Okay, that'd be good.
When I was growing up, this conversation reminded me of, so I always wanted two things when I was an adult, and this is how I was going to measure my success. Number one was I wanted a water fountain that spit out Gatorade in my backyard. And I still haven't achieved that one. And I don't really want that anymore. I know, I can afford it, but I don't really want it anymore, to be honest.
Okay.
You'd rather have Guinness in it.
And the second thing, and this is what this conversation, yes, Guinness. The second thing that this conversation reminded me of, and what I'm now going to do, I don't know.
Did you write it on your Post-it note?
I did.
Okay,
100% he did.
American Gladiators, I don't know if they're doing this anymore, but that tennis ball shooter.
Yeah.
The assault?
Just make the kids run across the backyard a couple times and try to see if you can take them out.
I've got a great balcony. The kids will be down low, and I'm just going to fire tennis balls at them. I'm doing it. I got to figure it out.
So I actually, when I got there, I was like, I was asking about a bunch of the events that we do. And we were talking about assault, and my showrunner was like, hey, do you know why they did assault? And I was like, no, why? Give me the dirt. And he's like, do you know why? Do you guys have any idea why assault was created?
No.
Because there was injuries, and a lot of they've made like a documentary on like the injuries and all that stuff. Yeah. It's a sport. Like in football, there's injuries. In basketball, there's injuries. In wrestling, there's injuries. In American Gladiators, there's injuries. And whenever a gladiator would get injured, they would be the assault shooter.
Oh,
so it was able to put in your favorite gladiators.
I like that.
So you could still see them. And so now now you can watch back and you're like, oh, that person must have been injured. Oh, that must have been banged up.
Yeah. That extra knee.
You know what the most, the hardest one is for injuries that I got to see? Powerball. Powerball is intense. So if you remember what Powerball is, they have balls, right? And they have to put it in these pods. But also you have basically gladiators trying to tackle you. So there's 3 gladiators and 2 contenders. And they're going back and forth. And there's these pods that they got to put the ball in.
Yeah.
That is rough. Yeah. Rough, man.
Yeah, I remember.
We have this guy Lightning.
I was about to say, I want to see Myles Garrett.
Not only is he quick, but man, he was hitting hard. Him, Neon, Mayhem, who is Fessy from the Challenge. He was unbelievable as a gladiator.
I'm just thinking Fred Warner. Fred Warner just in the middle of this room. Everybody trying to get dude.
Yeah, new vote. Fred Warner would be the best of all time.
Kill it.
But there's different events that people would be good at, right? Yeah. Fred Warner would be good at Powerball. I'm not sure he would be good at Hang Tough, which is, you're swinging back and forth. I'm not sure how many people are good with heights, because that's where edge comes into play. You got to be great with heights. Like people, you look down and it's a far fall to the net and you're falling. Like you are falling.
No, thank you.
So you got to be good with heights.
What about
the wall? You got to have good grip strength, hands. So there's just different elements that literally allows people to succeed in different ways.
Miz, so Whit sent me a workout plan like 6-7 weeks ago, and I've been following it pretty good. I'm back on working out.
He's
I took
back,
a couple
baby.
years off.
Wait, you
took a couple years off.
I stopped. It's like, I
was
lifted
time.
for 30 years of my life, or 20, 25 years of my life, and I just was like, once I retired, I was like, I just need a little break. Well, I'm back on, baby. But Whit sent me this program, and I'm looking at this thing, and we're like 4 or 5 weeks in, and me and my brother have been working out, and I'm looking, and it says pull-ups, and I just do lat pull down because I'm not doing many pull-ups. And he's doing a weighted vest with like 45 pounds on. And I feel horrible about myself. So finally, after 4 or 5 weeks,
I don't think I could do that.
Well, I said, Whit,
This is the best part.
Whit, you got to tell me, like, are you really doing pull-ups with a 45-pound vest on? Like, I feel horrible about myself.
And I go, no, that's my trainer, dude. That's what he does. That's just how the workouts are enough. I adjust it. So he's been feeling terrible about himself for like 5 weeks. I'm like, dude, you should just ask. Like, hell no, I'm not doing that.
I was about to say,
Body weight, baby. Body
there is
weight.
not a chance in hell I could do that. I can get like wide. I get like, in the first set, I'll get like 12. On the second set, I'll get like 10, and then I'll go 8, something like that. But
how old are you?
I'm 45.
So are you seeing a decrease
Recovery
right now in strength?
Recovery is unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
It's once you hit your 40s, dude, it's crazy. I went to this place called Ways to Well in Austin, Texas, and they basically took my blood and told me what I was deficient in. And I realized I was deficient in a lot of like stuff that you shouldn't be, like D2, vitamin D, calcium, certain things that I was like, because I was feeling tired and groggy, and my body wasn't recovering the way I wanted it to recover. And so now I make sure that I take a multivitamin. I make sure that I take amino acids. I make sure I take fish oil, and I make sure I take vitamin D. That's a big one, and DHEA. Those are the 5 things. And since I've been taking those 5 things that you can get off the counter, over the counter, and it's fine. You're not going to pop or anything like that on stuff. I've felt much better. Also, water intake. You don't realize how much water you need to like literally not get a headache, or because if you drink coffee like I do, I mean, I'm on coffee all the time. Your body dehydrates itself.
Well, there's lots of water in coffee, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
I'll call
always
it a net hydrator a little bit, maybe. I'm just trying to, take up for my coffee.
But dude, I mean, what do you guys do for recovery?
Dude, hold on. Whit is agreeing with you on all this. Whit, you didn't tell me any of this.
Yeah,
like
you don't take vitamins.
Well, hold on, Miss.
Wait, how old are you, Fitz?
Hold on,
Athletic, like
Miz,
Flintstone.
Miz.
I'm 43.
Miz, let's hold on.
Okay.
The guy was cutting the back out of his shirts, his button up, so that they'd fit on set. Okay, so listen, we were starting with baby steps. Let's get moving and let's start working out. Now we're going to start working, and I'm going to send him kind of, hey, these are some things. You need to go get this done, get some checkups, and let's see where you're at. We had to get moving first. All right. Now we're moving.
Okay.
Now it's next step. Now we got to get my man on some vitamins. We got to get him some supplements, make him feel good.
Because it's about feel now. Like it's about how you feel. Your body is
100%.
deteriorating, and it's not whenever you're working out, like I was getting sore, and I was like, man, I've never been this sore. And I'm not really working any harder than I was before. But it's just a certain thing that happens to your body when you get older. It's just like the recovery isn't as fast. And even after matches, I used to, after matches, I'd be fine. I'd be like, all right, no problem. Go bumps and bruises here. But man, I was getting really sore, and I was like, man, what do we got to do?
The worst one to me was obviously I ended my career at 40, but like I would tell people, it's not just recovery and a plan and all this, but it's like the random days you wake up and you're like, why the hell am I so tired or sore? Like I didn't think I did anything yesterday. I should be recovered. And I'd wake up for a game on a Sunday and be like, damn, like my hip,
American Century Championship,
killing me.
Holy cow.
Oh, that walk.
Like people are like, oh, golf isn't like a sport or whatever. Golf might be the hardest sport I've ever played in my life. When you are walking 18 every single day, like my feet, my body, my back, everything is sore. One thing that I love about American Century is that it's at Lake Tahoe, so you can just jump in the lake for a cold plunge. That's another recovery thing that I've been doing.
David
is
Wells
cold
does
plunging
it every year.
and saunas. Back and forth, cold plunging and saunas.
Yep.
Man, dude, it's a game changer for me.
100%. I got a little area built in the back of the house. Fitz knows this. I'm an infrared sauna cold plunge guy all the time.
He's got a wellness center in his house. It's unbelievable.
Well, he's got a gym like right there.
Yeah, come on, baby.
He's got the gym.
Believe it or
too.
not, I used to live right by Whit, and we never even hung out ever.
know,
Like
it's
I'd see him
bullshit.
at my golf course
Yeah, you
all
know
the
what?
time.
Yeah, you were neighbors with my college receiver, and he's really curious if you sold the house to a nice family because he saw that it's an escrow. So
There's no kids though. They don't have kids.
Oh.
They don't have any young kids. Like his kids and my kids used to play all the time.
I know.
Like, and you know, it's cool. We live on a golf course. So whenever all the golfers are done, we'd literally take a football out and just start throwing it to the kids. They would use a golf ball.
awesome.
There was just so much yard that you could just play with. And his kids are so athletic. But yeah, shout out to Corey.
Yeah, what's wild about Corey is his nickname, like for us, was The Miz. Like we called him The Miz like throughout college, which was really funny. Ironic.
Okay.
Because his last name's
that's bullshit.
His
and now
last
he's going to
name's
get a
Mazza.
letter, cease and desist.
No, his last name's Mazza. So for whatever reason, it translated into The Miz.
Is this real or are you doing
I swear
a bit?
to God. I swear to God.
You called him The Miz?
We called him The Miz.
Bullshit.
I swear to you. His last name is Mazza.
Good thing I trademarked it.
Yeah. All right, let's end off here with a little more American Century talk because we are all very excited to be there in July in Lake Tahoe. When did you catch the golf bug? Because I know that you were hot and heavy in love with the game of golf.
I love the game of golf, man. I started ever since you know, it's funny. We talk about kids and our kids and stuff. The thing that my dad and I used to do more than anything is golf. Every Sunday, myself and my dad would play my uncle and my cousin at Ridgewood Golf Course in Parma, Ohio. And we'd have to wait in those long lines. The 9 holes would take like 4 hours. Not anymore, I imagine. But I mean, it was a long time, but it was the time that I got to bond the most with my dad because it was a long time. You're playing a game, you're playing a sport. I remember my dad yelling at me a lot. Mike, what are you doing? Don't you know how to do this, and this? So I take my girls golfing and they love it. And I love it because it's like I get to do what I love with the girls. And it's a great sport. It's fun. And so I got the bug when I was a kid, but I didn't get until I moved to that house in Westlake. I never lived on a golf course. When you live on a golf course, you're just staring at it going, well, I want to play. And so then I got involved with the country club there, and I would go out and play every single day, and I wouldn't get better. And I've had so many trainers,
Game.
And I was like, I started a YouTube channel called Ms. Golf that literally I was like, I'm going to be Scratch by American Century last year, right? And I barely got better for American Century. There's something about playing in front of cameras, in front of people, and having the fear of actually hitting people that kind of scares you. And so, man, I'll tell you what, when you get on that first tee at American Century and my hands are like this, I can't help it. The adrenaline is just going.
You can't help it.
And we're not winning. We're not going to win either.
No,
but it doesn't matter. You're so nervous.
But
you golf left-handed.
But here's the problem with me, Ryan. I think I'm going to win. When I first tee off the first day, I believe in my heart and in my mind, I'm like, I got a chance.
Yeah, I might go birdie, eagle right here to start the tournament.
That's it. That's it. And then I hit the water. Then I hit a guy, and I'm like, well, I'm done.
It's over.
Are you left-handed? You golf left-handed? Yeah. So I got to tell you this story. I think I might have told you last year, but I'm playing on 16, and it's either Saturday or Sunday. And, I've already given up all hope, but this is intense. I didn't drive the ball very well. And if you remember 16, of course, it's the par 5, got the big tree in the middle. And then if you get it past the tree, it could trickle down, and maybe you have a shot to get on the green in 2, par 5. Well, I hit the worst drive maybe of my life. I've hit some bad ones. It went straight right into the woods. And that sound of it hit like 6 trees. I'm playing a TaylorMade 5. and I do the walk of shame. Literally, it's like 20 yards forward and then a dead right-hand turn. I'm looking. I find my TaylorMade 5. It's tall grass. I hit it out of there. I finally get to the green, and I'm putting for 6 on the green. If you get a double, you can just pick up. And I look, and your face, your logo is on my ball. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm playing the wrong ball. Like, what do I do? Do I call myself out, or do I? And, of course, I called myself out because I was going to miss the putt anyway. It was going to be a double, and really felt good about myself. But how the hell, being a left-hander, did you hit the ball on 16 directly to your right?
That's a good question. I was listening when you were saying I had the worst shot of my life. That's standard for me. That's usually where I'm at. And every time I get a trainer, they're like, what do you do? And I go, you got some time? Because sometimes I hook it, sometimes I slice it. It never goes really straight. But the thing is, I don't really ground the ball. Like, I don't really top it ever. I always either hit it left or hit it right. And it's a crapshoot. You never know what it's going to do or when it's going to do it. But I don't know why. I'm starting to understand that maybe I'm not just. By the way, you're about to hear what I do in my head the entire time. So maybe I'm not going down. I'm not dropping the hands enough and then swinging. And then I also went with one of my guys is like, here, just swing the club backwards. Like put the nozzle in the front to see where your speed is. Like, so if you hear
where's the wind? Yeah.
Where's the wind? So my wind is back here when the wind should be up here. And so I'm trying to figure out why that is. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm just turning too quick. And then I opened my shoulders. So now I need to close my shoulders a little bit more. Yes. And so then I'm like, okay, well then maybe I'm releasing my wrist too fast.
Yep.
And
Hold
so maybe I'm doing that. And then Fitz guy, Tony would literally, like, we would go out, your caddy. Yeah. And literally I would go out with him like at North Ranch.
He's got a lot of instructions.
Baby.
A lot of instructions. Oh yeah. A lot of instructions.
No, they got that Whit and Tony got in a fight last year.
We almost got in a fight last year. He was caddying for me. And he's like, dude, I told you, right side of the green, the wind's off the right. I'm like, Tony, you wouldn't be here with me, and I wouldn't be here either if I was able to do that. Okay. I am trying to hit a ball that ends up on the green. Do you think I wasn't trying? Like, well, yeah, but I told you where to hit it on the green. I'm like, Tony, you gotta, like, I'm not that good.
Suck it, Tony.
I've tried to trade my caddy. Like, my caddy's my best friend for a long time, right? And I've tried to trade him with James Ledbetter. I was like, dude, can you get rid of your sister and just come with me and like I'll trade. We can just do a whole trade. They wouldn't do it. But man, my caddy, I guarantee, is worse than Tony's. Actually, like, knowledgeable. My guy thinks he's knowledgeable, but literally puts it in the wrong spot. Or like gives me the wrong club, or doesn't clean my clubs. What is your one job as a caddy? Clean the clubs. Like, he'll give me, I shoot a sand shot and it'll have all sand on it. I go, there's grain on this. He goes, you're not going to hit it anywhere anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yes, it does matter. I could win this thing.
I think it's better than my caddy, who's my son, who did it at age 14. Now he's 19. He's chafing. He's now 6'6". He just talks shit to me the whole time. Dad, why'd you hit it there? Dad, don't do that. Do better. Never cleans a club, like you said. I have to carry my bag half the time, but we have a good time.
Well, dude, the first year I was there, by the way, I brought a professional bag. And like a professional one. I was like, I called TaylorMade and I go, dude, I want to look like the most professional person there.
Yeah, because I might win.
When you walk up, people think, I'm about to win. Yeah, in my head, I'm going to win. So literally, this thing must have been 50 pounds. I'm talking, and it only had one strap. It didn't have the two back straps. Yep. I'm telling you, my caddy was sweating through his shirt. He went and bought me a new bag on Saturday. He was like, I'm not carrying this bag anymore. So Friday we got done. He's like, I'm going in the golf shop. I'm buying the lightest bag possible.
One of the best pro shops in America, by the way. That's a great pro shop. That pro shop. Yeah.
Shout out,
I buy something every year.
I buy lots of stuff every year. Yes, I do. All right, dude. Miz, you're the best, man. Thank you so much. We've got American Gladiators coming out on April 17th on Prime Video. WrestleMania 42, April 18th and 19th on ESPN Unlimited.
Yeah, get your tickets, man. It's going to be amazing.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, but thank you for taking the time. You're awesome, dude. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in July.
Yeah,
at the American Century
baby.
Championship.
We're going low
in Tahoe.
Let's go. We're gonna win it.
We're gonna win it. Damn it.
We're gonna finish.
Put it on your Post-it note.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Damn it. Wow, The Miz. He's busy, Fitz. Busy. I mean, we just have like 11 kids and I have a bunch of animals. Like I thought we were busy. That guy is a whole different level of busy. What a fun, energetic dude, man. He just lights it up. Like the second he started talking, it's like you sit up straighter in your chair. You're like ready to go. I felt like the head coach walked in the room. He's got such an energy to him, man. It was awesome.
And that is who he is. Like we see him at the American Century in Tahoe every year, and he just is like a ball of energy all the time. And I thought it was funny because especially early in my career, when you're walking into a new locker room, you kind of do want to feel the locker room out a little bit. It seemed like he just went in guns a-blazing, like it's just who he is. It's his personality. I'm here. You're going to like me. You're going to hate me. But, that character that he's developed, being the heel and being somebody that, people can boo. And he really, it's amazing what he's created. And to hear that story of, not making any money, first of all, when he did the MTV show, and then just working his way up and trying to get better and hone his craft and having a goal in mind and not stopping until he reached that goal, even becoming the host. The host was just a means to an end for him in order to get into the ring with John Cena. And it's a freaking cool story, man. He's a great guy. We love seeing him every year in July. And for a guy, usually if you golfed as a kid, you could be a decent golfer.
I was shocked on that one. I was shocked.
I was too. I thought it was something he picked up later in life,
Yeah.
But he struggles to get around the course just like we all do sometimes. But a lot of fun to have out there, and certainly was an awesome guest.
Yeah, he was. I think it's always cool when you get a chance to do these things and get to know people a little more and hear their stories. That there's some things that, a lot of people you see and you watch, and maybe, from behind the scenes, you sit there and go, man, this guy's everywhere. This lady's everywhere. And you're like, man, it's just like, how do they get there? And then you hear them talk and you realize they hustled, and every opportunity they said, I'll run through that wall. I'll run through that wall. Like, you tell me another wall I can't get through, I'll get through it. And so you just start to have such a respect for not just the appreciation of, man, they do everything. And you're like, wow, that's super busy. How do they handle it? But also for, man, like, this is just them, their personality. Like, they want to take on challenges and conquer challenges. So getting to listen to him talk about his story, and then everything coming up from WrestleMania to what I'm jacked the most about, American Gladiators. I am like, I already loved American Gladiators, and I've always been a massive fan of it. But now, like, just hearing him talk about it and his new vision and what it's going to look like, I am jacked up. I can't wait. I didn't do a post-it because I don't do post-its like you, but I put a text in my phone, like text myself, hey, American Gladiators, when it's releasing, I'm jacked up. I can't wait.
It is funny because obviously, he's the host. He's going to promote the show. We're on Prime Video. Wow, what a great crossover, but genuinely very excited for this. Because you just think about now shows that you could sit down and watch with the kids, like watch a show as a family. And we just put on American Idol the other day. It's good. It's fun. They're singing, whatever. And most of the time now, American Idol is a little different. It's all good singers now. Rarely are they going to show the bad singers. But then it's like it's kind of trailed off in interest a little bit. But I feel like this is one like you could pop on an episode or 2 episodes, not watch it for 3 weeks, and then get back into it. Very excited to watch it with the kids. What I'm not excited about, and I don't know if this has happened to you yet, but my 15-year-old daughter had a sleepover for her birthday. And we've got a basement in our house here in Arizona, not a ton of basements.
Okay.
And it has been unseasonably hot in Arizona. And when I tell you it has been unseasonably hot, Whit, in the month of March, rarely do we touch 100. Rarely. Last week, the record high on this specific day, let's call it March 16th, 17th, 18th, somewhere around there. The record high ever in the state of Arizona was 95 degrees. We set a new record, 104 degrees. It was 9 degrees higher than the highest day ever recorded in Arizona. Anyway, she has a sleepover. She's got 4 friends over. They sleep in the basement. that thermostat in the basement is never on, ever. I guess one of the girls woke up in the middle of the night. They were hot. They turned the thermostat down
to 62.
No problem. No problem. We're now 10 days after her sleepover, and she goes down to grab something. She said, "Oh my Dad, the basement is freezing." All the kids continue to in line, go down there. You can almost see your breath. It's, "Oh my Dad, it's freezing." I go down there. Whit, the thermostat is set to 50 degrees. Like, why you have a thermostat that can go that low?
Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard of that.
50. So it's set to 50, and the basement has managed to get down to 55 degrees.
Wow.
But this thing has been blowing for who knows how many days.
I'm ready for that bill.
Well, the electric bill was 3 times as high as normal. And I don't know. I had something to do with that. There's probably some other factors as well, but just make sure.
That cuts back on the Guinness this month.
Yeah, it's okay. But we got to check the thermostats after the sleepover people leave, because
so what you're
that
telling
was a mistake.
That's hilarious. And what you're telling me is I need to probably go Speedo at the owners' meetings. Is that what you're saying? Like,
well, it's going to be a high of like 95, I think, at the owners' meetings.
Okay.
So you'll do great. You're going to be fine. That is it for us, but we'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Fitz and Whit is a Wave original brought to you by Intuit TurboTax. Now, this is taxes. And a big thank you to The Miz for joining us. He is the man. Thank you to our production crew. And thanks to all you beardos again for tuning in. We will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.